Our next speakers, Timothy Taylor, Krysztina Tautendorfer with Tom Franklin. Timothy Taylor was born in the UK and is a prehistorian actually at the University of Bradford. His geomorphic alter, Krysztina Tautendorfer, is Viennese. In 1990, Tim took up a lectureship in archaeology, in archaeological sciences at Bradford, receiving his PhD from Bradford, becoming a reader there in 2004. His books include The Prehistory of Sex and also The Buried Soul, and these two books have been translated into many languages. Tim's teachings cover introductions to world archaeology, to theoretical archaeology, and also the MA course in archaeology. His further publications include The Artificial Ape, that's more recent, 2010. And then we must also say, and that's very important, that this is not the first participation of Tim Taylor in the marathon. It is Krysztina Tautendorfer and Tom Franklin's first participation. Tim Taylor was actually introduced by John Brockman on the Edge panel in 2007 when we did the experiment marathon. A very warm welcome to Timothy, to Krysztina, and to Tom Franklin.
So thank you, Hans-Ulrich. I'm Krysztina Tautendorfer, and I'm an archaeologist of some kind. Yeah, I'm presenting here with Tom Franklin. You already heard. Hi, Tom, who has made the map with me, and we find also 4 other people. Ken Rader, who has made photos, you'll see. Lorraine Paler, who is a specialist for makeup of the special type I'm wearing. George Taylor, of No One Music, who's composed this Apes in Control. And lastly, his brother, Timothy Taylor, the author of The Artificial Ape. He cannot be here today. It might be thought that he's with us, at least in spirit, but maybe not, because the spirit, the Geist, is an appearance, if it is anything, and he can never inhabit the space where I am. Here is a difference between mapping physical space and mapping social space. Olafur Eliasson, in an interview with Hans-Ulrich Obrist, asks of geography, what is space? How is it generated? There's also the question of social space. What is that and how is it generated? My feeling is that it is made of maps. But these are not maps of something else. The map is not a territory, precisely because it is a map. As Wittgenstein says, nichts ist doch wichtiger als die Bildung von fiktiven Begriffen, die unseren erste verstehen lernen. Nothing is more important for teaching us to understand the concepts we have than constructing fictitious ones. Tim Taylor, in his book, presents with Tom Franklin this map image, which you now can see. And it shows us a way, it should be showing us a way, if it will stay there, to become human. So here, if this image now stays, you can see the way we are descended from natural creatures. You can see maybe at 2 o'clock the common ancestor of chimpanzees and humans. And the chimpanzee is a natural creature. It is descended from this creature 5 million years ago. It uses some tools, but it does not need to be biologically, it can live wild. It does not need a completion from artifacts. And at the top, at 11 o'clock, you can see the human being, which has biological incompleteness. All the stages in between, Australopithecus, Paranthropus, Homo habilis, Ergaster erectus, heidelbergensis, and Neanderthalensis. And then we finally have this completely biotechnical, bio-artificial symbiont, unable to live in the wild except supported by technology. Not just supported, but created by it. It has evolved its weakness, its unique biological deficits in the rain shadow of technology. Humans are constructed, and our construction is a partnership with the material world of artifice. I am artifice. That is not the same as imposture. Wittgenstein also makes this point. Konnte sich nicht verstellen, aber könnte sich nicht nur einbilden, verstellte sich. Verstellung ist ja eben nur ein besonderer Fall. Nur unter besonderen Umständen können wir eine Benehmung als Verstellung deuten. Ja, so couldn't he have been pretending? But couldn't he just be imagining that he is pretending? Dissimulation is nothing but a particular case. We can regard behavior as dissimulation only under particular circumstances. Now we can go to some places, I hope, that are not on the conventional and familiar map of the social space. These places existed, and now they will exist, not there, but here. As an archaeologist, I normally deal with post holes and the traces of foundations. It is dirty work, but also clean. Artifice becoming nearly natural again, like a clean anatomical skeleton. But here in Kern's views, we see the taboo zone, the rotting corpses of our social spaces. There are no living people in the past. It is an abandoned place, and there are no people here either. What we can see as the building's cosmetic facade falls away is that it was not a facade. It is not falling away to reveal some underlying essence. It is just falling away. There's no humanity to the underneath. We could say, in the absence of extropic processes of maintenance of surface, there is only chaos, nothing human anymore. As Wittgenstein also asks us, why do we constantly think that a phenomenon must be a symptom of something else? It is not that things do not exist if not presented to the senses, but they cannot have meaning. Das Bemerkung ist ein Seherlebnis. Noticing is the act of seeing. As we map the territory becomes for the first time apparent as the territory. It was constituted as the presentation, and we can then project onto it, planning reservoirs and cities, canals and bridges, houses and rooms, doorways and windows. And they then the territory, the landscape, made in the map's image. This is also how we construct ourselves. We can now return to the map. And question what it is mapping. At first, maybe it looks like some diagram of human evolution, but like my face, my appearance, this map is also a projection, which means to say reality. This is how we can see ourselves, having been designed by technology. And now that we can see the logic of the design principles, we can endlessly remake ourselves in our own images, or we can change them. Thank you.